Have you ever heard it?
Not the speech, no.
Okay. Have you heard?
I've heard a song. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it. Yeah, what song?
I'm just kidding. I saw the movie. The last time.
I wanted to play a little bit of this video of this speech. It's Malcolm X, his famous the House Negro and the Field Negro speech. Have you ever heard it?
Not the speech, no.
Okay. Have you heard?
I've heard a song. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it. Yeah, what song?
I'm just kidding. I saw the movie.
You saw the movie House Nigga and Film, whatever? Sometimes you just don't want to say nah. You're like, nah, not the speech. I'm like, oh. Please do tell. What did you tell the audience? What did you see?
Saw the movie.
On HBO Max. Get it while you can because they cutting shit.
Saw in Quibi.
Anyway, so yeah. But the reason why I want to play this, I want to touch a little bit on, he's not talking about black on black crime, but he is talking about black on black hate. He is talking about, you know what? You rock and roll, Malcolm.
Cool.
To understand this, you have to go back to what young brother here referred to as the house Negro and the field Negro. Back during slavery, there was two kinds of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, what he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would.
Yeah.
The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro say, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we, he said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master.
We found Sprizzy.
Damn it. Fucking Sprizzy bullshit.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat better food than this? That was that house Negro. In those days, he was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today because we still got some house niggers running around here. This modern house Negro loves his master. He wants to live near him. He'll pay 3 times as much as the house is worth just to live near his master. And then brag about, I'm the only Negro out here.
Oh, man.
I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You're nothing but a house Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate, you say the same thing that the house Negro said on the plantation. What you mean separate? From America? This good white man? Where you gonna get a better job than you get here? I mean, this is what you say. I ain't left nothing in Africa. That's what you say. while you left your mind in Africa.
Now, I think he gave the speech before he actually went to Mecca, and which is what I'm going to play a little bit after he gets to the point that I want him to make. And when he comes back from Africa, his perspective is a little different, actually, which is one of the things I want to point out now before we start going further, because there is an evolution. And the way I feel is that the plantation is just gotten bigger. Plantation is under all of us right now, and it's just a matter of where's your station on the plantation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we all niggas. No, we don't all get to be niggas. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, some are the niggas, some are the Negroes, some are the overseers, some are the lookouts, some are the, you know what I'm saying, the you know, the help.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you're in the middle class, your job basically is to look over the poor class, you know, lower class. Like,
Right.
like if you're not wealthy, then you're in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you get everybody who says, yeah, I come here for opportunity and this, that, and the other. And this. Well, I don't know how it was where you were. Where you were. Maybe there were gangsters trying to kill you and stuff like that. Well, that shit happens here too. If you was in Europe, you probably left a place where you could have gotten a fucking month off. You came to a place where you get a week off.
Yeah.
It's customary to get a week off here. Like that's crazy.
I know.
Just think about that. And some jobs don't even give you the weekend off. You know what I mean? So for some people, they only get 56 plus an additional 6 or 7 days off. So for some people, out of a 356 day year, they only getting like 60, 70 days off. You know what I'm saying? In total, that includes weekend days, holidays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so the majority of your life is spent working for someone that
Yep.
you would never ever achieve in terms of their where they're at in life.
Right.
Because the harder you work, the better they get.
Yep.
So yeah, where they put their money, where they stand in life is kind of important. It's important because, you know, if you're going to be dedicating your life to giving them the ability to influence other people's lives through their money, then it should matter to you. You know what I mean? Oh, I just want to go to work. I don't want to go. All right, cool. Then go to work. See you when you get home and you sitting in your little blow up pool while the company you working for, this dude's
Yeah.
taking a helicopter. I think he's never even been to the store that you work at. All these people that shut the fuck up and sat there like Walmart support, you know, blah blah blah. Mr. Walmart probably never even been to their store.
Of course not.
Yeah, much less their section that they work in.
Yeah.
He'll shut that shit down in a
Oh,
heartbeat.
so quick. So quick.
House Negro. But yet you voting for the other man.
On that same plantation, there was the field Negro. The field Negro, those were the masses. There was always more Negroes in the field than there was Negroes in the house. The Negro in the field caught hell. He ate leftovers. In the house, they ate high up on the hog. The Negro in the field didn't get nothing but what was left of the insides of the hog. They call them chitlins nowadays. In those days, they call them what they were, guts. That's what you were, a gut eater.
A gut eater.
And some of you all still gut eaters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they eating them in big chunks.
The field Negro was beaten from morning till night. He lived in a shack, in a hut. He wore cast-off clothes. And he hated his master. I say he hated his master. He was intelligent. That house Negro loved his master. But that field Negro, remember, they were in the majority. And they hated the master. When the house caught on fire, he didn't try and put it out. That field Negro prayed for a wind, for a breeze. When the master got sick, the field Negro prayed that he died. If someone come to the field Negro and said, let's separate, let's run, he didn't say, where are we going? He said, any place is better than here. You got field Negroes in America today. I'm a field Negro. The masses are the field Negroes. When they see this man's house on fire, you don't hear these little Negroes talking about our government is in trouble. They say the government is in trouble.
So yeah, I mean, and those were some of the tactics that were used to pit people who had the same interests, just a different station, against each other. The field Negro had the same interest as the house Negro. Whatever happened to the field Negro could happen to the house Negro.
Mm-hmm.
As it could. In fact, the house Negro probably even had their own sets of things that they had, of dangers and pitfalls that they had to look for because they were in the house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Being the daughter of the house Negro probably wasn't a good thing to be. You know what I mean? You know, so yeah, so we are in this together. So regardless of where your station is on the plantation, if you ain't the master, then we all in this together.
Yep.
We are all in this together, and we need our allies, as many as we can get. I mean, in some ways, it's like, I mean, if you think about it, like those days on the plantation, if the slaves worked every day, which I think they did, maybe got off a little bit on Sunday, I don't know. Well, there was somebody that was in charge of overseeing them. I don't think that guy got paid that much money.
Probably not.
Probably not. Otherwise, he would have his own plantation if he got paid so much money.
He'd be in his own boss.
Why didn't he get... His job is to beat the shit out of slaves and oversee them and chase them down and hunt them down. But he's not getting paid enough.
Yeah.
If cops' jobs are so dangerous, why don't they pay cops
High
more
salaries,
than they pay anything else? So that a cop can don't even have... An NFL player only has to be an NFL player for 5 years, and then they probably made, if they're smart, made enough money. Some of them make enough money in the first 3 years
to retire.
Yeah.
Yep.
To retire. Whereas cops, you got to be a cop for fucking 40 years. To the point where you get tired of being a cop.
And you would think high risk, high pay, right?
High risk, high pay. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, I don't think cops get like everything else given to them, like someone in the military does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Although I don't know for sure, but they definitely not getting paid super duper. So the people that were closest to the slaves, they didn't get paid super duper either, and there's a reason for that. But those people have to ask themselves. You know what I'm saying? And something tells me you have to be very skilled to be an overseer for the slaves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had to know how to track a motherfucker.
Yep.
You got to be good with the whip, the shotgun. You got to take this motherfucker's bullshit and listen to his bullshit.
You gotta know instinct.
Yeah, you got to know instinct. You know what I'm saying? You got to play bad cop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there has to be a reason why they're keeping them down. So if you're just an average everyday worker, just because your skin doesn't get you slammed on the pavement, you still have to wonder, like, damn, like, am I just an overseer to ensure that
Everybody stays
yeah,
in line.
yeah, I'm holding a place so that this guy doesn't get somewhere, so that he can get beyond being slammed on the ground.
Yep.
There can only be but so many LeBrons.
Yep.
So because there can only be so many LeBrons, that means there can only be so many Bill Gates. You feel me?
Right.
So basically the same gatekeepers that keeping me from getting through are keeping you from getting through. You know what I'm saying? And the sooner we realize that, then we don't have to hate each other. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
work together.
And, yeah, and then we can kill our real masters. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, you have people complaining and bitching and this, that, and the other, and it's like, no, you know, you got to find out like what's keeping you down. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then you got to take that master out. Killer Mike had a great shirt, says "Kill your masters," and it wasn't meaning like go find some white people and shoot them up.
Yeah.
No, it was whatever is oppressing you. You know what I'm saying? And most likely it's probably within you in this day and age.
You have to tackle
You know what I'm
that.
saying? You got to tackle that. So this next clip is Malcolm X. It's called the "By Any Means Necessary" speech. I freaking love it. But I believe, I don't know if in this one he had just came back from Mecca, but he has a different tone. I do have one when he just came back from Mecca, like he just got off the plane. like,
And just made a speech.
well, the reporters are asking him questions, so it's not necessarily a speech, it's just him
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like answering the questions. But it's still a dope city, though.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies. Everybody is here. As many of you know, last March, when it was announced that I was no longer in the Black Muslim movement, it was pointed out that it was my intention to work among the 22 million non-Muslim Afro-Americans and to try and form some type of organization or create a situation where the young people, our young people, the students and others, could study the problems of our people for a period of time and then come up with a new analysis and give us some new ideas and some new suggestions as to how to approach a problem that too many other people had been playing around with for too long. And that we would have some kind of meeting and determine at a later date whether to form a black nationalist party or a black nationalist army.
So just to cap a little bit, right now he's out of, I guess, the Nation of Islam at this point. He fell into a disagreement with the way that the leader, he saw that he just didn't like the way he was living. I think the way he was messing around with women and young girls was playing into that, which just goes to show, like, look, don't let this pedophile, but you're going to be hearing that word a lot. I know I've thrown it out earlier in this episode,
Yep,
but
you started off with it.
and I'm going to keep, like, no, we are not going to allow motherfuckers to equate pedophilia to Black Lives Matter. No.
Yeah, cannot.
We're not going
Cannot
to
be
allow
tied.
people equate pedophilia to racism.
That's right.
Frankly, in my opinion, I would wager most pedophilias are racist.
I wouldn't bet
Yeah.
against you.
But so if we can kill two with one stone, great. But they're not the same.
Right.
They're not the same. They're not the same enemy. No. Nope. If anybody, there's all these pedophiles out here. Y'all worried about racist syrup? No. We worried. We worried about. We read about people using this race of syrup to give to little black kids that they're gonna molest. we worried about the fact that black lives don't matter, and you guys are changing this subject. So it's that situation. I don't really have anything funny to say about it other than it's serious, and that yeah, I just can't allow that.
No, man.
Can't allow two separate conversations, and frankly, anybody on that side, look, cut it out. You guys don't care about pedophilia. You just don't. There's been too many election cycles where you had ample opportunity to say something about pedophilia and
Right.
you didn't. And
right.
Just cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. Well, how is it?
Cut it out.
You gotta do that when we go out to break.
I will.
There have been many of our people across the country from all walks of life who have taken it upon themselves to try and pool their ideas and to come up with some kind of solution to the problem that confronts all of our people. And tonight we are here to try and get an understanding of what it is they've come up with. Also, recently, when I was blessed to make a trip or a pilgrimage, a religious pilgrimage
So he
to
did
the
come
holy
to
city
Mecca.
of Mecca, where I met many people from all over the world, plus spent many weeks in Africa, trying to broaden my own scope and get more of an open mind to look at the problem as it actually is. One of the things that I realized, and I realized this even before going over there, was that our African brothers have gained their independence faster than you and I here in America have. They've also gained recognition and respect as human beings much faster than you and I. Just 10 years ago on the African continent, our people were colonized. They were suffering all forms of colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and every other kind of Asian. And in a short time, they have gained more independence, more recognition, more respect as human beings than you and I have. And you and I live in a country which is supposed to be the citadel of education, freedom, justice, democracy, and all of those other pretty sounding words.
So basically what he's talking about there is that he went to Mecca and he checked it out. He's like, look, we were all on similar paths. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people were colonized. These people had to fight for their independence and their rights. And, if it was a race, they're light years ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? What did they do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What were some of their ideas? What were some of their thought processes? So what basically going over there made him question some of his thought process. If you notice in the previous recording, he's a lot more militant. He's a lot more angry. You know what I'm saying? By then, at that point, he was the, hey, they got guns, we got guns too. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Martin Luther King, he's a fool. You know what I'm saying? He's been bought and paid for by these people. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, he'd be like, yo, let's do the guns. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And whereas now he's like, no, I've gone out. I've talked to people. I've listened to people. You know what I'm saying? And, there's another way. And hopefully he's about to go into it.
So it was our intention to try and find out what was our African brothers doing to get results, so that you and I could study what they had done and perhaps gain from that study or benefit from their experiences. And my traveling over there was designed to help to find out how. One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity. The purpose of our organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective: to fight whoever gets in our way. To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent, here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary. That's our motto. The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem, which has the largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent, because that's what you and I are, Africans.
You know my feelings on that.
Yes, I do.
And, you know, old Malcolm X would have been like, you left your mind in Africa.
Uh-huh.
I would have been like, well, when you go back there and get my mind, tell me what it looks like, because I don't remember what it fucking looked like. I never been there.
You said that for a long time.
I don't know how I could have left my mind there if I've never been there.
Yeah, you said that for a long time now.
You know, and you know, there's a reason why there are flowers that grow here, and then there are flowers that grow on the other side of the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And the one that was planted here and grew here, seeded here and grew here, it doesn't. It's not gonna feel like it left its roots in fucking Australia in the outback.
Because it started them here.
Yeah, cherry blossoms don't feel like they left their mind in Japan. No,
they're Japanese American blossoms.
Yeah, they just fucking grow. They grow and they blossom. Right. So I'm here to grow. I'm here to blossom. But I do need to know. I do need to know some of the stuff. I need to be open to know how to maneuver in this world, in this room full of vultures, you know?
Yeah.
Just gotta.
The Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights are the principles in which we believe, and that these documents, if put into practice, represent the essence of mankind's hopes and good intentions, desirous that all Afro-American people and organizations should henceforth unite so that the welfare and well-being of our people will be assured. We are resolved to reinforce the common bond of purpose between our people by submerging all of our differences and establishing non-sectarian constructive programs for human rights. We hereby present this charter. Number one, the establishment. The Organization of Afro-American Unity shall include all people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere. In essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get their allies, it's time out for you and me to stop running away from the wolf right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help. That's a drag. Number two, self-defense. Since self-preservation is the first law of nature, we assert the Afro-American's right to self-defense.
And that's what goes into what we were saying on shit. I don't even remember the episode number anymore. But yeah, it's time to respect the Second Amendment. Time to appreciate it. Time to live it. It's like, yo, if you do, then hopefully that bleeds into the community. Now, granted, it's a little harder. Mm-hmm. Most of my people aren't licensed to have guns. Shit, I don't even know how they even feel about guns in the community. Down here, I think it's a little different.
Yes,
but
definitely.
Up north, not so much. I don't know how to work it out, but I think, you know, we have to start incorporating that into our lives a lot more. and maybe just Americans in general, they're not going anywhere. So let's start, normals, making it normal.
Yep.
It's right now it's abnormal for to see a black person really, really like, yeah, I got these guns, and and there's just something wrong with that. I should be.
It's just like the white guys in the back of the pickup truck. You should be able to carry your gun
Yeah.
and display it without being in fear of being shot down.
And chase a motherfucker down and beat him
Yep.
up. All right, so this here is the last one, actually. This one is the last sermon of Dr. King. I'm not going to play all of it, but there's a good little stretch here where he basically kind of ties it all into us. And the point of all this was, here we are in the 60s, bro. In the 60s, and they're fighting for this shit. In the 60s, they're getting fucking smashed by cops. Malcolm X was in the North. Dr. King was in the South. So there we have it. We showed a bit of Jim Crow. We showed a bit of the things that they were screaming for in the North.
Right.
Dr. King's going to talk about what they were screaming for in the South. We show that 60 years ago, people were still, the things that were happening to them happened 2 months ago to their children. The children of the people who sprayed motherfuckers with water hoses and sick dogs on them are the ones that sprayed them with tear gas.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And those children that sprayed them with water hoses are the children of the people who lynched them. And then they are the children of the people who enslaved them. So there's no way that it can be over. It couldn't have been dead a long time ago.
Right.
And then recreated by Black Lives Matter. I don't even know if Martin Luther King was down with Black Lives Matter, if it even existed back then. I'm going to assume it didn't.
Sure, it didn't.
Go on, talk, girl.
I need not pause to say how very delighted I am to be here this morning,
He just has a cool way of talking,
to
man.
have the opportunity of standing in this very great and significant pulpit. And I do want to express my deep personal appreciation to Dean Sayer and all of the cathedral clergy for extending the invitation. It is always a rich and rewarding experience to take a brief break from our day-to-day demands in the struggle for freedom and human dignity and discuss the issues involved in that struggle with concerned friends of goodwill all over our nation. And certainly it is always a deep and meaningful experience to be in a worship service. And so for many reasons, I'm happy to be here today. I would like to use as a subject from which to preach this morning, remaining awake through a great revolution. And the text for the morning is found in the book of Revelation. There are two passages there that I would like to quote. It's in the 16th chapter of that book. Behold, I make all things new. Former things are passed away. I'm sure that most of you have read that arresting little story from the pen of Washington Irving
Irvin.
entitled Rip Van Winkle. The one thing that we usually remember about the story is that Rip Van Winkle slept 20 years. But that is another point in that little story that is almost always completely overlooked. It was a sign in the end from which Rip went up in the mountain for his long sleep. When Rip Van Winkle went up in the mountain, the sign had a picture of King George III of England. When he came down 20 years later, the sign had a picture of George Washington, the first president of the United States. And Rip Van Winkle looked up at the picture of George Washington, but in looking at the picture, he was amazed. He was completely lost. He knew not who he was. And this reveals to us that the most striking thing about the story of Rip Van Winkle is not merely that Rip slept 20 years, but that he slept through a revolution. While he was peacefully snoring up in the mountain, a revolution was taking place that at points would change the course of history.
And that's where we're at now. I mean, in America. You know, it's like, look, folks, you can stay detached if you like. You can stay... Woke is becoming a phrase of ridicule now. But
Yeah.
what's the opposite of woke?
Sleep.
Yeah, why would you want to be that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to be... There's a reason why woke is short for wake up, people. Before, that used to be something people would say, you know what I'm saying, to keep people in the know, to alert them.
Yep.
Let's go.
Keep them informed. Yep.
You know, or at least to motivate people. You know, let's get some action. Now in America, rape, not rape, woke, or rape, they switch. Rape isn't rape, and woke isn't cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
And Rip knew nothing about it. He was asleep.
Yeah, we could feel the hell.
Yes, he slept through a revolution.
And that's called on the in Wonderland.
One of the great liabilities of life is that all too many people find themselves living amid a great period of social change, and yet they fail to develop the new attitudes, the new mental responses.
Indeed.
That the new situation demands. They end up sleeping through.
And that's basically what he's saying. Anybody, why rewrite history? It ain't gonna change what happened. Evolve.
Yep.
Evolve. That shit is over. That shit is over. No statue deserves to be up forever. If that was the case, then I'm sure there would be tons of monuments that would be here that had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like why there ain't no statues of freaking Zeus and shit all over Europe? You know, in Africa, why aren't they like huge monuments to, like, nobody goes to those temples where they used to sacrifice people anymore and use those things?
No,
Those
like
things
in
are-
Mexico.
Yeah, those are
no.
tourists.
Yeah, they're
things.
tourist attractions.
Yeah, like no, nobody's. You know, no, it's over. Nobody follows that shit anymore. It's over. That's like the show American Gods. It's over.
Yep.
Nobody's following Odin. So there ain't gonna be any statues or temples to Odin.
Exactly.
Not erected on public property. You know what I mean? Like, it's over. You need to develop a new attitude, like MLK said.
Through a revolution. And there can be no gainsaying of the fact that the great revolution has taken place in the world today.
It's still taking place.
In the sense it is a triple revolution. That is a technological revolution with the impact of automation and cybernation.
Cybernation.
Then that is a revolution
You just
in
made that word up.
weaponry with the emergence of atomic and nuclear weapons of warfare. Then that is a human rights revolution with the freedom explosion that has taken place all over the world. Yes, we do live in a period where changes are taking place.
Once again, this is the 60s.
That is still a voice crying through the vista of time, saying, "Behold, I make all things new. Former things are passed away." Now, whenever anything new comes into history, it brings with it new challenges and new opportunities. And I would like to deal with the challenges that we face today as a result of this triple revolution.
Now, that's the 60s. Obama came in the late 2000s. So you got King in the 60s, Obama in the 2000s. That's 40 years in between.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 40 and some change, 40, 50. And then you got now. So to say racism is dead in this country, when did it die? And at some point, if it did die, then one of these guys were lying. You know what I mean?
And the rest of us didn't get the memo.
Yeah, all the marching and all that stuff. Martin Luther King, he's lying. Or was racism alive and well then? Mm-hmm. Because segregation was still in then. So, was it alive and well during segregation? Yeah. I guess we could all say. So at the end of segregation, it stopped.
Right.
But so anybody who had a problem with that, they were just making it up.
Oh yeah.
There was no residue. You know what I'm saying?
No, it just stopped.
It just stopped. So, or maybe no, they did. They did. Okay, I'll give you the crack cocaine thing. Okay, I'll give you the crack cocaine thing. So you're giving me the 80s. You know, what about the incarceration stuff? You know, well, you know, all these people are doing crime. Okay, all right. So everybody's doing crime. They deserve to be in jail. All right. Well, there's statistics that show that white counterparts, same crime,
yeah,
don't get the same things. Some municipalities are even judged differently than others. Well, okay, so I give you that. All right, well, fuck, that puts us up into the 2000s.
They were almost there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what about Rodney King? Even if that don't put us in 2000, that puts us in the 90s. What about Rodney King? You sure there wasn't no racism in that? And there was a black cop beating his ass.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just because there's a black cop beating her ass doesn't mean that there's no racism in it. You best believe that if the master wanted the house Negro to whoop a field Negro's ass, that house Negro would have helped. If that master wanted a field Negro to whip that house nigga's ass and take his spot, that field Negro would have done it.
Absolutely.
So in the end, it ain't who's whipping the slave's ass.
Yep.
It's why did the master command it? And so there goes all the, well, there's black people in the cops. There's this, that, white people who get this, that, and the other. White people get shot and killed and abused by the cops. But if they, by some chance, happen to find themselves in jail, they more likely to get off. You know, when they got shot, it was a mistake.
Sorry.
You know, so he goes on. Martin Luther King goes on to talk about how it's a small world. You know, I need you, you need me, and you know, and in the end, and that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Is he's right? We all need each other, bro. Like there is no leaving. There is no going someplace else. There is no anything. We all need each other to get this shit right because there's going to be more coronaviruses. There's going to be more reasons to separate us coming at us. Technology
Absolutely.
is going to separate. Technology brought us all together, but now technology is going to separate us.
Any kind of change requires us to all work together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any kind of change. Name one, and I'll tell you.
Changing your jaws.
Sometimes it does require us all to work together.
Ooh.
Depends, who you hang around with.
I ain't hanging around nobody that I need to help them change their draws. On that note.
Cut it out.
Yeah. But,
Oh, that's
but
so sweet.
You know what else like to lick a lot?
Specs
Yeah, boys.
and Malo.
Our doggies. They love to lick and they love to chew and they love to eat snacks and they love to do all those
They
things.
love snacks.
And a real cool place that they can go to get those things is Hidden Closet.
Oh, yes.
And why is that?
That's because right now you can sign up for BarkBox, get great deals and specials. Our boys have been getting BarkBox for a couple years now. That's why we have so many toys everywhere.
And that's why they're so in the way.
And that's why they're so in the way. And Specs loves ripping them all up and waiting for new ones to come in so he can rip those up too.
Yeah.
And the little guys love their snacks. I think that it's so cool that each box comes with a theme.
And that's the cool thing. We've
Yeah.
been down with them. And the thing is we've been down with them for about 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
And it's not like every year, okay, January you're going to get the same January
No.
toy. February you get the
No.
same. No, they switch it up every month of every month
Yes.
of every year. So
Do you remember Chinese New Year? And we got a little Chinese food container, and you
Yeah.
opened it up, and it had two little wontons
Oh,
inside.
yeah.
Oh, that squeaked. Oh my gosh, they have like the best toys. They're just so creative, so creative.
my favorite one was the airplane. I really love it.
Oh, the airplane. That one was super cute.
And like the luggage that came with it.
Yes, there's so
So-
many of them that I don't even want to give them to play with because they're just so cute.
But not
And
only that, but they also worked in the sense of they provide snacks and other just
Yes.
things that I wouldn't think of giving my pet
Absolutely.
or looking into. So
Yeah.
definitely
New
check
products,
out
yeah.
BarkBox. What are some of the deals they can get on the website?
they can get special offers now on your first month, your first box of
shoot.
your first. Yep, absolutely. If you sign up for a full year, you can get it all at a reduced rate.
Oh, Dope
So
City.
check them all out. And if you like their products, you can get them mostly. They have a lot of sales on a lot of their natural products now. Their natural chicken bites and things like that. And those are the kinds that Spexies love. So, yep, you get exclusive deals and you'll absolutely love it. And they treat your dog so good.
Well, that's Hidden Closet.
Yep, check them out.
TMC4JMC.com. Check it out, and I think you'll enjoy your.
Yeah.
You definitely your dog is gonna enjoy it.
At least
so.
try it out the first month. You'll love it. There's no commitment.
Give it a shot, folks.
Yep.
I understand it's a unity walk, yet we came together, but this is not the time for them to be talking. We understand, we appreciate that, but everybody that got an issue out here, now is the time to get up here and say how you feel. That's the pain you've been going through. Yes. The information that's been withheld from you from cases that you don't have. Now is the time to get up here. So they can start opening these cases that you don't got information from. What is his name? Leon.
Leon.
Who else is it? Matthew. All these people that's been killed here. Look,
by the police.
Time to get up
by
here
the police.
and stand up for your people.
That's
if
right.
you ain't got answers, Tiara McNeil, the Harnett County Police, the Harnett County Sheriff's Office is still withholding information from her son's death. They won't give her no information.
No,
this been
her
going
own
since 2017.
Yes.
Why don't she got no information?
That's right.
And he was with 3 or 4. It's not,
White boys.
It's not a racist thing, but
it was
he
white
with 3 or
boys.
4 white people. And they went down there and said whatever story to cover it up, and that's what she got to live with.
That's right.
That boy can't swim.
That's
Why the hell is he in the goddamn ocean with Jordans on his feet?
That's right.
And then all his goddamn clothes on.
That's right.
They killed him. That's right. And we out here doing all this, but you can't stand up for us. Like, get your ass on this podium and tell me what the fuck is wrong.
Thanks for watching, and to see more T4J content, please visit TMC4JMC.com, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff, because we appreciate your support. Alright? Peace. Cool.
Hey, when that shit touch, man, I just do the running man.
What up, folks? It's your boy TMC here. Just wanted to give another PSA about budget. You have a budget. I have a budget. Hell, freaking dog catcher has a budget. We all have budgets. Key is working within those things, and sometimes being able to make more out of a little less. You're just now starting out as an artist. Maybe you have a project in which you don't have a big budget for. Or maybe you just want to do some behind the scenes stuff. Well, that's where we come in.
Glock 19, you don't want it, man. Gotta send a little 80 where you want it.
Guys, thanks for watching. And to see more T4J content, please visit TMC4JMC.com.
And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe down below.
That's what's up. Peace.